Today, I'm going to be talking about my experiences with installing a Midwest Industries extended handguard for my basic conversion saiga rifle. Up top, we have here a SGL 31 Legion Arsenal, just plain Jane. And down here, one started as a saiga unconverted rifle. I bought it as the basic conversion. Basic conversion means the trigger group was moved forward, added a stock and a pistol grip. As you can tell, I'm not sure if you can tell right now, but over here, it's just a front sight block that just slips right over this barrel. And over here, we have the 24 millimeter front sight block that's made from put on by the factory and everything, and then this one has the lugs and this one does not. So this is the basic conversion, just because the rear end was done, the front was not. And I decided to get a rail for this guy because initially the saigas don't have the hand guard retainer, because it has that little sporter looking stock thing or handguard thing, I'm sorry, and it doesn't have the sling loop. So I put one of these guys on, and with my experience, you're gonna have a hard time doing it unless you're gonna have to buy another gas tube. And one thing I should mention is that the original saiga gas tube is actually pretty much exactly the same as the AK-74 or the SGL 31s. They're interchangeable. I've tried them out. And what I had to do here was, the handguard has a little piece in the middle that you screw down, and it clamps onto the barrel, and then it also exposes two screws so you can put the top piece on. And when I put the middle clamping device, I don't know what to call it, I'm just going to call it the clamping device, and put it between my barrel and my gas tube, it was only fitting in a certain section because the width of my gas tube was too thick, because they put like a heat shield on it, and it wasn't fitting this rifle very well, and I had to move it all the way forward to get that middle section to clamp down between the barrel and the gas tube. So to get this guy on, I had to modify the gas tube. So what I did was I flipped it over. I took off the gas tube, I flipped it over, and then you could see where they start and stop, and there was I think 4 spot welds, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. You could see right here, I butchered it, yeah. Anyways, there was another spot weld on the other side, 2 over here, 2 in the back, and then I took a screwdriver. I saw like a little spot. I kind of wedged it in there. You can use anything, like like a flat surface thing, like a flathead or something, and wedge it in there, and then just keep prying, working it. Do the other side, keep working it, and then just kind of try to pop that guy off. And then after about 5 or 10 minutes, I got it off. Some of them don't come off very clean, like what you see here. I don't like destroying my guns, but I don't really baby them either. I might paint it later, considering doing that. Anyways, so I had to pop that guy off, and I was able to put this top handguard and everything and have it installed. So that's what I had to do. And then I asked a lot of other people on YouTube that showed that they did it, and they said they didn't have to modify the gas tube or anything, and I don't know how they did that. And let's say if you wanted to keep the top original saiga unconverted gas tube, and if you wanted to buy another gas tube, that would probably work. I believe for these rifles you just need the AK-74 style gas tubes, because if you could see up here, this is a 90-degree gas block and not the 45 degrees like, let's say, a Romanian Wasser has and some of those other AK rifles. So it's going to be like the AK-74s, a lot of the newer arsenals. You can use those gas tubes, and Um, the thing about it was, there's a handguard retainer up in the front and up in the back here, and then a thin gas tube, but that's symmetric all the way through. And before, it had like this thick little, or like a thin layer of metal all around it, and it just made it too thick where I couldn't put that little barrel clamp in the inside to install this rail. But I just got it on now, and I'm pretty happy with it because there's only so much stuff we can do, and I'm still considering getting the AK-74 24 millimeter threaded front sight block at a later time, but I'm not a gunsmith or anything, so I'm gonna have to pay for that because God knows you don't want me doing it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna mess it up, and that's not my specialty, nor do I have the tools. I'd have to go buy a bunch of tools and do it. So I can pretty much do anything with a screwdriver, duct tape, some Allen keys, but that's about it. We're not going to be taking out any Dremels or anything here. Not on this YouTube channel, or it's not even a channel. I just review random guns and stuff. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I was thinking about maybe changing out the back stock too, for the more tactical look, because the way that it's sitting right now, I'd keep this stock, which has the trapdoor in the back, for something more like the original look, and I like that more on that style. But later on, I'm really waiting on that Zhukov stock from Magpul. It's supposed to come out this month or next month of it's like April or May of 2015, and when I get that, I could probably do a review for you guys. But so this is how I did my installation. And if you could see, I did not do this on purpose, but there's a small gap right here, as you can see, and there's a little small gap right here. I bought the Handguard secondhand, and then the guy that I bought it from actually, what do you call it? Put some Loctite on here, and I got everything off except the one right here. And I actually tried to take it off, and I was turning with my Allen wrench so hard that the Allen wrench actually broke off. It was like a cheap made in China tool I bought at Harbor Freight, which is like a discount cheap tool store place, and they have cheap stuff. Anyways, but I'm not sure if you want to look at the setting. This is the setting that I have, and previously it was on a SLR 107, not mine, but his. And one thing about this guy is that you're gonna have to cut off your front sling loop. So for a saiga rifle, that's pretty easy. But let's say if you had a real rifle, and if you didn't want to do that, I understand that this might not be the setup for you. And it looks pretty nice. I wish it was extended up here too, like the Krebs, but I was on the just on the secondhand market, and I could not, for the life of me, find anything Krebs or anything. I guess people who buy $200 rails seem to keep them, which is cool, which I understand. I mean, I would have shelled out some more money for like a Zenitco or something, but I just couldn't find one. I went on AK Files, went a lot of places, looked around, couldn't find it, but I came across this at a pretty decent deal. I picked it up for like $120, and I think they were like maybe a little bit more than that, so it's still pretty cool. I basically got it for the sling loop function, so I could put a sling loop on it, because I didn't have one. So I'm gonna get one of those clip-on ones, or like those little bolt-on whatever, and then have a sling on it. So that's pretty much why I bought it, and it also kind of helps with the looks too. And usually if you have one of these little big extended hand guards, people don't really mind as much because they don't really care about the cleaning rod like up there. But I'm more of a purist. I really like the cleaning rod and having the cleaning kit in the buttstock, because you never know what's going to happen. You might get a stuck casing, which is pretty rare, and you can kind of like try to take it out or whatnot. But anyways, I really appreciate you watching my video and taking your time to view them, or this one, and hopefully I might help somebody out there who was trying to install their Midwest Industries extended handguard and had some problems. And that's what I did. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, like I mentioned before, buying another handguard, but that's a lot more expensive. And if I just, pried my little heat shield off for free, the beats, spending another $30 or something. And one thing that you could do right now is you could have bought an AK-74 kit, and those are running around 300 in this day and age. Or April 4th, 2015, Circle 10 AK or R Guns has them for 300 for the polymer stock, and then Circle 10 AK has them for 320, and they come with a bayonet, so that would be really cool, having a pretty nice bayonet and having extra parts to either build another AK, or converting the front end on this and using some of the other parts, or just having extra parts. So I always go off tangent, I'm sorry. Anyways, I appreciate you watching my video, and stay tuned for the next one.